Good morning everyone and welcome to a new video here, Sublime Traders. I am Logical Orange, and in this video we are going to take a look at an extremely boring market. It really looks like it's the end of the match and the bulls and the bears are two exhausted boxers that really have no stamina left.
Do either have enough in the tank to finish?
And Donna just rolled over, no energy left at all.
We have been in a steady decline in volume since May 12th, which was the big drop, and now we don't even know if the symmetrical triangle applies. But without further ado, let's go to the charts and check what the current state of the market is, and let's see what can happen to Bitcoin next. So as I said earlier, extremely boring market. We have left the triangle recently this weekend. Extremely boring weekend, by the way. Nothing happened except some tweets that moved the price 10%, which is getting normal these days, I would say. We left the triangle on the bottom part and we are now hugging this ascending trend line that is forming the triangle, but we don't have the momentum in order to do anything. We also can see that the local VPVR is now in a confluence point with the ascending trend line. So this area right here will be a small resistance for the price. It is a small resistance because it doesn't take much volume in order to break it, but we don't have it right now. So as you can see, from the 12th, the beginning of the drop, so on the 15th of May, we really didn't have much volume except sell volume on the 19th, and since then the volume has been declining and declining and declining further. So we now can even plot the trend line of the volume declining. So this is an indication that the price will eventually pick up the movement. Now we cannot say exactly when. Usually this happens on Mondays and on Tuesdays, when people are starting to get a bullish sentiment onto general markets. However, today is not the day we are going to break this resistance line right here if we keep having this low volume, extremely low volume. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and check out in a zoom manner what can happen now and what is the current situation right now. So as you can see, this is the highlighted area that is a confluence point. We don't have the power to break it on the upside for now. The bulls failed to push the price lower at the same time. That's why I said it looks like a match that is in the 10th round. The boxers are exhausted. They don't really have the energy to knock down the opponent. Right now we are stuck in what I would like to call an inverse triangle. That is something like this. Of course, it's a personal assumption. We are stuck between the bottom part of the symmetrical triangle that we were in before and the legendary trend line that, as you guys can see, has held exceptionally well in this last weekend. We have rejected pretty much on point on this legendary trend line, and we are moving up and down in it. What this can mean also is that, as we can see, the distance between them is increasing, so we might start to see some larger movements, because right now we are kind of in a 4% area that the price trades in, which is exceptionally slow for Bitcoin and doesn't tell us anything for now. So what do we need to establish in order to know if we are bullish or bearish? As you guys can see on the 4-hour chart, the crossing between the 50 EMA and the 21 EMA has happened before the weekend, basically due to the tweet of Elon Musk. However, nothing says that it cannot continue further. It still can continue further. Usually, like 70% of the times that we leave a symmetrical triangle through one side or the other, after some accumulation that we are seeing right now, the price can continue in the same direction. So we cannot say we are bullish right now. We would be able to say we are bullish right now when we go back above 38k. So 38k for me is a very important level, because we have, as you can see here, we have a resistance level that was also a support. So this area right here that I am going to mark right now, this area right here is also extremely important. We need to close above it. If we close above it, we can say that, okay, Bitcoin is really trying to recover in a bullish manner, and we can say that we can open some longs, or think about placing some longs when we are outside of the triangle. Until then, we are still expecting low volatility. We need to see how this local breaker reacts, and if we manage to go back into the triangle. If we don't manage to go back into the triangle, well, then the initial prediction I have had that involves 30k once more, and then finally the 20 to 22k level will apply. Because if we get to this level now, when outside of the triangle, there will be very little support. So except this area right here, we have another legendary trend line that might hold or not, depends of course on the bearish momentum. And finally, this would be the level where we go all into accumulation. This will be a level that we will not probably see in the near future. As I repeat, for now, extremely weak. The two last candles, the two last daily candles look like nothing. Extremely weak, and we are caught into low volatility. Now let me introduce another form of triangle that might apply with this chart. No one is really talking about it, but maybe it is the case. Maybe we don't see the triangle correctly. Maybe the top part of the triangle is this one, as we can see right now. But maybe it's not a symmetrical triangle as everyone is saying. Maybe it is a bearish triangle that is looking, a bearish flag that might be looking something like this. So a straight line on the bottom part, almost a straight line on the bottom part, and it would look something like this. It would make sense. It really would make sense. And if it is the case, well, the 38k level still applies on the upside. However, on the downside, we have different limits. Of course, we have a confidence point here with the legendary trend line that we saw that reacted, but this would also mean that we are not still out of the formation, and we might still do this. Makes sense. The price would also be able to retest the previously drawn symmetrical triangle like this, and then do a price movement something like this. Of course, low volatility, and then it would be able to exit on one side or the other. Of course, I've drawn it on the upside because this is what I think personally would happen after this much up and down into a small formation. Of course, all the oscillators are getting flatlined, not really flatlined, but the moves are getting smaller, and the Bollinger Bands are squeezing. So right now the price is doing nothing concrete. We just need to assume what formation we are in, so we can plot future take profits. For now, let's take this case, for example. Let's say that we leave on any of the sides. We can say that our next move would be something like this. I don't know if I measured correctly. So something like this, and we take it and we move it. So 70% of the formation, we move it like this, magic. Okay, so it fits. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. When can this happen? Well, it can happen in at the end of the week, 5 days. Does it make sense? Yes, it does. Why? Because it's the weekend, and during the weekends we can see drops in the price. We already talked about why. Now let's plot this same line. We take it, we paste it, and we move it to the upside. 70% move. Let's see if it fits any formation that we have right here. Does it fit anything at all? So 46.8k for now doesn't really make any sense. Maybe if we go on the daily, let's check the daily and see if it makes any sense. Yeah, more or less, nothing really pertinent. So we might say that we might form a confluence point with some past pivots. Don't really see any correlation on the upside, except maybe here and on this candle right here, where we have had some small rejections. Still can apply, of course. If we trace a fib, we can have more information. Let's try to trace a fib right here, so I don't mess up. Just so, tracing a fib from the upside to the bottom part, full bodies, and see if anything fits. Yes, we are on the 0.5 fib. Also makes sense. So in any case, the potential move makes sense. What does this tell us in regards to the last triangle that I have drawn? So the new triangle, which is still looks like a symmetrical triangle. The flat, the bottom line is a bit straighter than the top one, so it can be a bearish triangle, bearish flag. But measuring this and trying to correlate it with future formations or with trend lines that exist, or with Fibonacci levels, confirms that this new triangle is viable. So maybe we are not out of the triangle as everyone is saying. Maybe we have drawn the wrong triangle. You know, in analysis, in technical analysis, there is no right or wrong. You can draw your own trend lines. You can connect them with wicks. You can connect wicks with full bodies. It doesn't really matter. What matters is to get the result out of your analysis. So for now, if we are basing our trades only on this formation, we can expect these two results, and in order to expect these two results, we would need to let the price roll still. As I said, the volume is extremely low, and now the EMAs also, don't forget that the EMAs will also act as resistances. They will act as supports once they are broken. For now, they will act as resistances. And we can also see that we will have a confluence point here with the fastest EMA, so the 21 day moving average in this case, because we are on the daily chart. So we will have a resistance confluence area around this level if we manage to have the volume to get to there. So this is the current situation of Bitcoin right now, guys. It is very important to know where Bitcoin is in order to know where the other coins are at the moment. The only assets in cryptocurrency that are decorrelated right now and that can really move lots of amounts are the tokens. So the token market is exploding. It has seen an explosion in the last 2-3 months, and there are tokens that can be bought now for cheap, and that can grow exponentially, that usually grow hundreds or even thousands of percents. The only thing you need to do is to do your own research and check the contracts, check the sites, the socials, and everything that is related to those projects. So guys, this is all for today. Thank you for watching. As always, if you have questions, don't hesitate to contact me on Telegram in a direct message on the VIP chat. Thank you and happy trading.